Hi guys, I'm Dion and today I'm doing another wrap up. So since the last one I am going to do wrap ups in kind of a bunch, so I think I've collected enough books to have enough to talk about, I guess. Let's just get to the books. The first one I read was Codename Verity by Elizabeth Wein. This has been going around on BookTube a lot. I listened to it on audiobook. Codename Verity is about a girl who is captured by the German Gestapo, and it's like her confession, and we learn how she got there and how she doesn't really think she's going to get out. I thought the narration style of this audiobook was great. We have these snippets, mostly of Verity, but of some other people as well later on. And it's kind of confession style, so we have tapes. We have different chapters and she tells the story like it happened. But essentially, I didn't love this book. The story was interesting and the characters were interesting, but just they didn't blow me away or something. So yeah, I gave Codename Verity 3 out of 5 stars, and I will not be continuing the series because I thought it was cool, but it just doesn't draw me in, I guess. The next book I read was So Sad Today by Melissa Broder. This is a collection of essays on random questions and mental health, sexuality, a range of different topics really. It's like based on her Twitter account So Sad Today, where she posts just why she is so sad today. I don't know, you can look it up on Twitter. It's an interesting project. Some chapters in this I really loved, or some essays rather. They were really relatable. I thought it was very quotable at times, but then there were these essays that, mostly those that are super explicit, that just made me go, because I couldn't identify with it in any way. So I'm kind of in the middle with this one as well, and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. The next one I read was Men Explain Things to Me and Other Essays by Rebecca Solnit. This is a non-fiction book on feminism and centers on topics like mansplaining and women not knowing enough, I guess. It was a well-written book. I enjoyed it while I read it, but I can't really say I remember specific great things I learned from it or still think back on, and that is also the reason why I just gave it 3 out of 5 stars. The next book I finished was The Girls by Emma Cline. Now, you may have seen this before on my channel because I got this as a review copy November, December of last year, but since I'm following an English course, we had to read this for class, so I read it again and got myself the hardcover because it's pretty, and I really know I enjoyed this book, so I wanted to support the author. So The Girls is this story of Evie, a teenager, lost and lonely a bit. She comes across some interesting girl. She kind of comes into contact her and follows her to where she lives on a ranch. The story really takes off from there. We find out that the ranch is actually some kind of cult, and there has been a lot of buzz and also a lot of talk on this book because it's a loosely based adaptation of some events that took place, which are called the Manson murders. Yeah, I read this for class, so I kind of overanalyzed it by now. I already did a video review last time I read it, but I just absolutely love this. Now see that there are also a lot of themes in there that I missed the first time around, I guess. And I am thoroughly looking forward to discussing this further in class. I also have to write a review for class, so I will probably edit my Goodreads review with that one when I'm done. Since The Girls was such a good read, it's still 5 out of 5 stars. Then the next one I read is Greek Religion by Jan Brammer. This is a very short book on Greek religion, Greek life and Greek myth, I guess, which I read for my Greek religion and mythology class, and I really enjoyed it. It is brief and to the point and clear, so I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Another read for class, I read The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. The Picture of Dorian Gray is a story of Dorian Gray, our main character, and someone paints a picture of him. This picture turns out to be more interesting than just any other portrait and takes on a very special role in his life. We follow Dorian as he kind of changes because of and with the painting, and all kinds of events unfold. It's a very short book. It's a big edition because it has all these essays and notes in it, but it's really like 180 pages or so. I really enjoyed this. It kind of hides these themes of aging and if beauty and aesthetic is more important in life, or if there are other things that you should kind of foreground, that you should kind of choose over them. And because Oscar Wilde was gay, we also see themes of homosexuality in there, with interesting notes on which sentences and kind of passages had to be changed because he was actually convicted for sodomy, which is kind of the old way of saying, hey, you're gay and you shouldn't be gay, so we are going to convict you because you write 2 gay books. But this was interesting, so yeah, 4 out of 5 stars. Doing It. Let's talk about Sex by Hannah Whitten. This book came out last month and I really enjoyed this. Hannah Whitten has a YouTube channel where she kind of focuses on sex and relationships to seek to educate, well, anyone really, but I think it's even more important for younger viewers and readers in this case, because, I don't know, I think we get pretty bad like sex and relationships education when we are young. Even those of us who think we have gotten pretty good basic education on the topic can really learn a lot from this book. I'm 23 and there were still things in this book that I didn't know before. So Doing It is really a source book, but that makes it kind of sound boring, which it isn't. It's divided into all these chapters, so it has chapters on virginity, on healthy relationships, on LGBTQ, on consent, masturbation, body image, STIs, sexting, contraception, just a lot of resources in here. It also actually includes a list of resources in the back for people, I don't know, seeking more information, seeking help with stuff. So that is really cool as well. It has an index so you can look up stuff, and it's just a very pretty book. I just really love how this was done because it makes the book so much more fun. The most important thing I got from this book, she invited other people to write these short passages for her book on topics she didn't know enough about herself, so that makes it a very well-informed and round book, although of course you can't cover everything. And the most important topic, I think, is that this book really states that sex is a normal thing to talk about. It is part of many of our lives and we should know more about it, and we should be able to speak about it in a normal way and get rid of all this taboo. That said, I found it hard sometimes to be reading this on public transport because, I don't know, I felt weird because I was reading about all these STIs and I was just sitting on a park bench and was constantly thinking, what if someone walks by and takes a glance in my book and sees I'm reading about this? Will they think I have an STI? What will they think because they will think I have an STI? You know, it goes very deep. But yeah, that only goes to show how much we need more people to read this book, more people to kind of talk about things so the stigma can gradually disappear. I would definitely recommend this for younger readers because they will learn the most from it. But if you have passed 20, you can still pick it up and learn new things because of all these different perspectives that are put in here. So it really is a book for more than one age group, and I really, really appreciated that. I gave Doing It 4 out of 5 stars. And the last book, which I can't really say I read, I guess, because I only read about, I don't know, half of it. But that is An Introduction to Literature, Criticism and Theory by Bennett and Royal. This is the book we are using in our English course at the moment, which kind of covers literary concepts and themes and rationales sorted by theme. So we, for instance, have chapters on the uncanny, on monuments, on narrative, on character, on figures and tropes, on creative writing, on the tragic, on ecosystems, on ghosts, and so on and so on. So I think I will be using this for a long time because it's short chapters. It's like 10 pages per topic. I don't know if it is something that I will be reading like recreationally, but I'm sure I will get a lot of use out of this in my further studies. So I definitely recommend this one if you are studying or busying yourself with literature and want to think more about the theory and criticism behind it. So I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. Those were all the books for this wrap up right now. Let me know if you have any comments, questions, anything to say on these books, and I will see you guys soon. Bye. So my camera is facial recognizing the book.